what's going on, guys? This is RCR, and today I'm making a what if video. As you can tell by the title, it suggests what if the best racing games have already been made. The gameplay you're actually seeing is not really gameplay, it's more just me customizing some cars in Grid 2. I've been playing Grid 2 a lot more now that Grid Autosport is coming out, but that Grid Autosport is actually a part of, I guess, today's video and a lot of stuff. So getting to the point is, what if the best racing games have been made? If you go back, and pretty much anyone that I've talked to that really did enjoy racing games, that their favorite racing games are probably 5 or 6 years back. They aren't from this generation of racing games or even last generation of racing games. They're probably in the PS2 and Xbox era, mainly because I guess maybe it was just everyone was a kid and they saw the movies and they just really enjoyed it. But my thinking is that almost all those racing games had really solid gameplay. Like, it was gameplay first, graphics second. And I think even more that happened last generation 2 with the new Gran Turismo and Forza. Forza still kept it, but just it later on started focusing more on just the way the game looks, and even Horizon still had really good gameplay. So I'm gonna I guess take Forza out of this equation, because Forza still really kind of maintained the same stuff. Now I don't have an Xbox One, so I can't tell you about Forza 5, but anyway. Moving into this generation of racing games is that almost everyone seems to be just focusing on just pretty games. You have to excuse me, I have a cold. So everyone's focusing on just pretty games. You have Project Cars, which just looks amazing. I can't believe how pretty that game looks. But you know, according to, I guess, people have played early alphas of it, they say like almost none of the cars feel real. Like, they all just feel kind of just boring. Apparently the only one in there is actually the Ariel Atom that feels anywhere like an actual car. So of course that game is in alpha and beta, so it's kind of iffy what's going on right now. But the only game that's coming out, I think, later this year that looks like it's going to be pushing the barriers on both is maybe The Crew. And I think it's taking a, I think the graphics and how the game's gonna run is taking a back seat to the gameplay. From what I've seen people playing it and heard and looked on forums, that it really does look enjoyable. So there still probably is hope for that game. But again, Grid Autosport coming out, and I just like it. Doesn't mean, to me it feels like just, okay, why are you calling it Autosport? Why don't you just call it Grid 3? Because to me it just looks like Grid 3. There is nothing new to it. I mean, I know Codemasters, they need to make money, and their Codemasters is pretty much just racing games, but I think you would go back to Dirt or something. And of course there has been a lot of stuff that hasn't been shown off of that game. It comes out next month, but I'm still waiting for, maybe there's customization in the game, maybe there's bringing back that engine stuff. There's a lot of mistakes they made in Grid 2. Granted, Grid 2 still was a fun game for me, at least. I know people didn't like it too much, but I really still enjoyed it. So I'm thinking that there is still hope for that game. But I'm rambling on again. The fact that Need for Speed is taking a year off is a really good thing. I think everyone thinks that was a good idea. Like, there's no one that's saying, I want a Need for Speed game this year. Like, no, you need to take a break and refound the studio, get a good idea flowing, and make something that we want. And apparently, from what I've seen from the post from Ghosts, is that they are listening to us. Like, they think that, I think they're gonna bring back customization. They brought it back in Rivals, so which even though it was a very small amount of it, they still brought it back. So that is a good sign that they are listening to people. I don't know exactly. If anything, I think what the game would be something around Carbon and not Underground 2, just because that era of racing and the way those cars are is just so far behind us. It's kind of, there's no point to bring it back. But Carbon, something with the exotics and the JDMs and the American cars, like, that's something they can bring back. And there are a lot of cars in this, I guess, that have come out in the recent years that could fit very well into a new game. You have a lot of the European cars. Getting all those cars to bounce very well is going to be kind of a hard thing to do. You're going to have to really, I would say, probably work around that. But again, I don't know if we'll see something from E3. I'm hoping we will, just like maybe a glimpse of what we are going to be getting. I mean, we don't know exactly the time frame of when the game's coming out. It could be March of next year, or it could be October of next year. Last year we had, say, I'm just giving an example, The Witcher 3 came out, and they showed it, and then they said, oh, it's coming out March of this year or October. No, it's got pushed back even farther of next year. So there could be seeing delays, and my thinking is that Need for Speed really did get themselves out of this running for this year, because there are so many racing games. You have The Crew, you have Drive Club, which we still don't know it's October, so I mean, which is nice. No, October, and you have the crew now, and there is a lot of racing games coming out this year. So my again, I'm rambling. This is pretty much just a rambling video. I just wanted to give my thoughts on the whole racing game situation and where we're at in this generation, because in each new generation, I think it's just a known thing from everybody. I mean, I've seen people at IGN on Podcast Unlocked, they say, well, each new generation racing games come out, and that is a true thing, is that you just get like just a crap ton of racing games. But I think this generation is a lot different, because considering that almost all of them are focusing on just graphics and FPS and not gameplay. And I think it's weird, because like 2 generations ago that was completely the opposite, where they were just focusing on just how much stuff you could fit in the game, because there was so much more space than there used to be. But anyway, that is it for this one, guys. Leave me your thoughts down below and what game you're excited for the most. Personally, The Crew. Still haven't seen anything that I made me not want to play it. But anyway, and yeah, so thanks.